Here in front of me, this was the old hydraulic engine powerhouse that supplied power to the railway, the Great Central, and this is one of the few buildings that still stands in Bede Island. A lot of the rest of the structures have been built upon. It was a pub at one time, it's now a supermarket, and as I say, being swallowed up a lot of the local area by university buildings, which, yeah, in a way you would expect for urban development. But as I said, as I go further out towards Aylestone, you will see more signs of the railway line. And as I said, sad urban progress in the city. Just, you would never think that at one point this was, the area around here was like busy. What's happened now is that the line's now become a path called the Great Central Way, and just say it's a cycle footpath that was purchased by the council. Obviously, pretty much any remnants of the railway have been pretty much erased. The line would have carried on going through down towards where the flats were there. And here, I will show you a couple more relics shortly, but as I say, this is a housing estate where pretty much the goods yards were, where things were built upon. So I will show you more shortly when I get down to the next yard. Basically, they brought in old locomotives just to cut up, and also carriages as well. That lasted well way into the 1990s, and then a massive fire, and then the scrapyard was closed due to asbestos issues. And yeah, pretty controversial, but there you go. But as I said, that just shows you where the flats are, the extent of where the goods yards would have been back in the day. And I'm now approaching Upperton Road. Again, more things to show you shortly. Obviously buildings that have now long since gone. Tell you a bit more about the history. This was another famous structure. Now above that road there was a bridge, and this was on the Upperton Road. Now basically the railway line went underneath at ground level, and the bridge was raised at an upper level. So basically bridge 378, that's long since gone. That was demolished about 20 years ago. But as I say, famous again, another blue brick bridge. I can show you photographs later on, you'll be able to see that for yourself. Now where the flats are, basically more running lines came through, and then further back there was the locomotive engine shed. But again, there's no traces of that, that's all long since gone. Now when the scrapyard was here, there was a cord for the trains to come from the other line and to bring scrap locomotives and carriages onto the scrapyard. Showing you one of the old buildings here. This was the goods repair shed, and again, as I said, loads of sidings behind. And as I say, where the housing estate was, the engine shed was for a sort of way behind there. Busy locomotive shed in its day, like Woodford holds. It was a strategic point for the engines here, because a lot of the services would change engines as a halfway point, going down south or going up north towards Manchester, and further up and going down south towards London, or splitting off to seaside destinations, places like Bournemouth and other places as well. So busy junction in its day, but again pretty much all built upon now, sadly. But it gives you some idea what it was like. This is basically what is now, it sort of exists from the old yards as well. Obviously going on to where the locomotive engine shed was, and a lot of that has been built on, as I said, student flats here. And as I said, it's an extensive yard, coal yard as well. And I'm going to see if I can get a better view for you as well, further down to where the actual locomotive shed was. But again, a lot has been reclaimed by nature. I've got the Leicester Burton freight line. This line they're proposing to reopen to passengers. There's been feasibility studies and they are looking at the possibility of reopening. However long it will take, I do not know. A lot of passing loops and station zones are going to be put in to make that practical. Anyway, we're still on the central line here. The line was dropped further down, obviously, because the path was relaid. So the line carried on going through, making its way towards Aylestone. So you can see, as I swing you around, how straight the line was and how it's headed towards Upperton Road. So it gives you some idea of what the line was actually like. And obviously dropped down. We're about a mile and a bit outside the city, so obviously the trains to slow down for the stop. From the Great Central track bed, Leicester Burton freight line going overhead, and as I said, bridge 379 there. And speaking of, the bridges are not numbered, but our track bed now carried on going through here and swept around. Now we're getting towards Aylestone now. So what happened here was some of the bridges were infilled, which I will show you as I get towards them. Sort of typical rail practice at some points, where for some reason they just decided that they wanted to fill bridges in to make sure that they could not be used again. To me, it's just complete vandalism. But then they just do other things by putting roads over them. Right, I'm going to keep on showing you the track bed towards I will explore there anyway. As I say, this is bridge 380, pretty much in the field. And you've got the capping stone there anyway. As I say, the line dived underneath, but yeah, some of the blue brick ain't in the best of health. Not surprising, I've seen this is about 120 years of age. I think I'll be showing my age as well. But yeah, the structures stand the test of time, certainly. Anyway, I'm going to keep on walking further into Aylestone, show you a little bit more of the bridge on the Great Central line. This is, I think, bridge 381. Again, infield track bed would have come underneath here, made its way through to Aylestone, as I said. And as I said, it's been pretty much made into a cycle path and a footpath. But obviously, as I said, like some of the bridges around here are infilled. Like I said to you before, I just do not understand the logic of why they would infill these embankments. Just seems crazy in a way. Anyway, I am going to keep on walking. I'm going to head up now towards the next part of the walk. Bridge 382 of the Central Railway, and again the bridge is totally infilled, pretty much to its brim. And I think if you dug down, you would expose the arches. Now the track bed went further down, and you'll see it when we get up onto the linear path, and you'll see for yourself where the actual line goes. But again, as I said, last three bridges have been all infilled. Totally, in my eyes, ludicrous. They probably had their reasons for doing that, but as I said, obviously to make sure that the bridges and the track bed are obliterated and no traces of it. Ooh, hardly anything's now left, which is sad in a way, but anyway, it still survives. We've still got the bridges here, which is the main thing. Right, I'm going to look on the other side, then I'm going to head down a bit further into half out of the city centre now. And as I say, the Great Central Way passes through here. Our line, I think, came in from the right where the infill bridges were, and now then cut across to where I will show you shortly. And basically the line goes further up into Glen Parva. That's where its next destination point, where all the bridges are as well. So I'm going to keep on following that path. And then, as I said, go up for about another mile and a half. There's still more bridges and bits to see on the track bed, so I will show you more shortly. So anyway, this is Aylestone Meadows. This part of the railway track becomes very, very rural. So basically what you'll see now is just a load of bridges. I'm going to go into an area called Pebble Beach, show you one of the structures on the side, and you can have a look at it yourself and then film from the top. I'm going to be walking for about another mile, but as I said, it's pretty idyllic out here, and you can see where the line used to go from. That's the Leicester side arch view of the bridge 383, and yeah, as I say, trains thundering over it up until 1969. No longer, as I said, it's now a cycleway pathway, so at least it's used, at least it's not obliterated. But anyway, I'm going to keep on walking for another mile and do a couple more of the bridges, just show you the amazing engineering of these bridges. Over the top of bridge 383, and again, as I said, this is the top side of the bridge over the river. So as I say, tracks will be either side. The graffiti artists have got here as well, if they're old numbers, and as I say, you've got the capping stones here as well. And yeah, brilliant, as I said. That's still in good structure. The graffiti I can take or leave. Why people need to spray their names on that stuff, it's beyond me. But that's the youth for today, sadly, and they call that art, and it's tagging. Right, I'm going to keep on walking. There's a couple more bridges I want to show you guys as well before I finish walk for today. But as I say, it's still a fairly straight path. Come to Broughton Lane East Bridge. This is bridge 384 now. As I say, you can see the metal structure in the middle where the rivets have been riveted on, and again, just the bridge is sturdy metalwork, remarkably good shape after standing for 120 years as well, and just testament to the builders of the day. As I say, obviously the line north to Leicester went through the other side. This is the line obviously heading down south to London via Rugby. Again, we've got the graffiti arts that struck, but as I say, the capping stones stood the test of time. But solid structure there. Right, there's one more bridge I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm going to finish the walk for today. Showing you the riveted sections of the bridge there with the capping stone as well, and solid, sturdy workmanship there. I think the middle section of this bridge has been painted as well, but as I say, good solid structure. And you've got to remember, these guys were just building things with picks, shovels and other things to make these bridges, build these bridges and embankments and all the structures to make a working railway. All destroyed by Beeching and his cuts. But anyway, at least the bridges still survive, so people can still remember the day today. Now, this is bridge 384, lattice bridge. Now, it don't look that stunning from the track level here. You're heading towards Glenparva and Rugby further ahead there in Whetstone. And I'm gonna, as I said, the lattice bridge has got capping stones at the end there. Traditional, build of the Great Central. This is similar to what was used on the bowstring bridge further back, if I showed you earlier on. So I'm just going to show you the side view, and you can have a look yourself, and you'll see it's an amazing bridge. It's over the Leicester arm of the Grand Union Canal, but just testament to the builders of the day. Bridge 384 over the canal. This is the Great Central Railway Bridge heading over the Leicester arm of the canal. So you can see the lattice work and the ironwork underneath as well. Pretty ornate, similar to what the bowstring bridge was like as well, which was only missing the arch to complete the actual video clip. So as I said, the line carried on going towards the Glenparva Rugby and then down into London. So I'm going to finish the walk for today. I'm going to carry it on in the next week or so. So that is how far I will be showing you today. As I say, it's a lovely section. It's at least the bridges and the embankments and other parts of the track bed are still around, even if the tracks aren't. Right, I'm going to head up, get a drink from the Canal Side Cafe.